Before I introduce myself, I'd like to thank Professor Alan Berkeley, chair of this section in Ethics and Integrity, and all my panel members, colleagues. I would like also to thank Dr. Mel O'Brien, conference organizer, who gave me the opportunity to be part of this discussion through this film. My name is Luciana Nunes. I'm Police Ombudsman Advisor of State of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I'm psychologist, Masters of Science at Nova Southeastern University, USA. Today I'm going to present the Ombudsman Proactive Program that was launched in October 2011, and during the last year, during 2012, we demonstrated an increase of 20% of the social control over the police force of Rio de Janeiro. First of all, I'd like to give an idea of a concept of favela, violence, some historical data, and I'm going to take this opportunity to have this presentation in film and mix, my presentation with some of the images just to have an idea so what I'm talking about.
In 1920, as the occupation of the hills increased, the public authorities invested in policies to shut down the favelas rather than promoting the integration between the hill and the city. In 1960, the city of Rio de Janeiro has its economic hardly shaken when Rio was no longer the capital of Brazil, when Brasilia was constructed. From then on, poverty, savagery, and parallel command increased drastically. The favela were multiplying and left on their own, becoming a safe hideout, a safe cache for the drug dealers. Traffic broken into different fractions and start fighting with each other. As the organized crime grew stronger from the 1980s, without the presence of the public authorities, not only the drug dealer was a benefactor, but also the judge, owner of everything and everyone at the hill. They fought with each other. They fought with the police with heavy weapons.
As UPPs, nós fizemos um diagnóstico mais ou menos de 16 a 18 meses do Rio de Janeiro e se percebe nitidamente uma cidade partida. Você tem pontos aonde o Estado não está. Em primeiro lugar, isso tem que ser reconhecido. Se não se reconhecer isso, não se consegue a solução. Então nós fizemos um estudo disso, um grande diagnóstico, traçamos em torno de 40 complexos de favela, não é uma UPP por favela, são complexos de favela, e nós temos um projeto, um plano para 40 complexos de favela. O que vai resolver o problema da segurança pública é o atendimento das demandas sociais. Quanto mais demanda social atendida eu tiver, menos polícia eu vou precisar. Agora, para que isso aconteça, nós precisamos criar uma ambiência para que o policial aqui, hoje, ele trabalhe com muito menos arma, ele trabalhe muito mais trocando, interagindo com as pessoas, né, dentro de uma política de polícia de proximidade, do que efetivamente aquele homem guerreiro, né, porque antes a polícia era preparada para fazer guerra e não para fazer segurança pública. Só que antes, como isso era um território de guerra, a polícia entrava, fazia o que tinha que fazer e fazia mal feito e saía. Isso gerava na população uma desconfiança muito grande. A população foi se afastando da polícia e a polícia foi se afastando da população. Essa é a inversão do paradigma. Uma polícia que fazia guerra para uma polícia que passa a prestar serviço.
Even though the Police Ombudsman Office of State of Rio de Janeiro was first established in 1999, it was only in 2007 when the state of Rio has its supreme priority to combat criminality that the Rio Secretary of Public Security, José Mariano Beltrame, invited the Attorney of Justice, Dr. Luiz Sérgio Vigderovets, to fulfill the position of Police Ombudsman of Rio de Janeiro. But wasn't enough. I mean, the police ombudsman have to have a more proactive approach. In October 2011, the Rio Secretary of Public Security and the police ombudsman came up with a new concept, a proactive police ombudsman program. And I was invited to create it and launch it. Maybe that was the biggest challenge I've ever had to face it. I mean, to promote social control over the police force in a very hostile environment. I knew it that was facing decades of oppression, fear, and disbelief. And to show you that, I'm going to present a film of a young man stating how he used to live and how was his life during the parallel command in the favela, and how it's changed after the UPP was established and that in his favela.
Assim, oficial na tua casa e tal, na verdade na comunidade nem entra. Quando descobre que foi na tua casa, o cara quando saiu é policial, eles vão achar que você é um X9, tá entendendo? Que tá colando com o errado, tá fechando com o errado e tal, e vai pensar que é você que tá dando as coisas. Você acaba sendo mal visto, você é cobrado. Você não pode nem ter o conhecimento, tá entendendo? Tem coisas que às vezes ele não entende, que não tem como resolver, tem que resolver só, no caso, você não pode depor da parte de alguém, entendeu? Você tem que comunicar a eles são a lei, eles são a autoridade daquele local. Hoje em dia ela mudou, melhorou, nesse termo, nesse sentido, porque hoje em dia ela está pacificada, ela é o PP, entendeu? Mudou, isso daí acabou as violências que tinha, assim, eram demais, muita gente, pessoas morrendo constantemente. Não tem mais isso, muitas pessoas que eram cortadas, jogadas para o jacaré, hoje em dia não tem mais isso, tá entendendo? Diminuiu bastante, os moradores ficam dormem tranquilo, as crianças podem ficar brincando nas pracinhas à noite, coisa que não se via, 10, 11 horas da noite brincando na pracinha, as pracinhas ficavam desertas, não tinha luz, iluminação, agora estão claras, entendeu? Até agora a comunidade tem um lazer para as crianças. Nesse sentido mudou, melhorou bastante.
Tough reality, isn't it? I mean, there's no magic way to take away the fear. We need to recognize the fear and then be patient and work through it. I mean, I've been listening Secretary Beltrame using the word freedom for so many times in his speech, and I believe that's the perfect word to define the UPP process in Rio de Janeiro. Free the favela from parallel command, free the favela from oppression in so many forms, free the favela from needs, I mean, providing all the public service that are available in the city, now through the social UPP, the units that is responsible for providing and facilitating this kind of association into the favelas. Let them heard. I mean, let the favela be heard. That's what the proactive police ombudsman program is made for. I'm going to show you how I've been working to reestablish the community trust in Rio de Janeiro. My approach at the beginning was very, very simple. I just want to be part of the favela day by day activities.
Paid in community meetings, spoke in community events. I threw flyers from helicopters in areas that I couldn't reach. I gave away not only information flyers, but also my visit cards. I spoke live on radio, answering questions related to the police ombudsman and public security. I was present at every UPP opening ceremony that I could go. It was so many different actions that the social control participation started to increase gradually. In 2012, it was the first time since 2008 that the Police Ombudsman Office was reaching the highest numbers of complaints, suggestions, and compliments over the police force of Rio de Janeiro.
During my speeches in the favelas, I was able to say the words such as police brutality, false arrest, intimidation, racial profiling, sexual abuse, police corruption. When you say the words that nobody thinks that can be said, I mean, the fear chain loses its strength. When I can say in front of the UPP command, that means that they also agree that the police misconducted is not acceptable. That means the message that I really want to give, that the UPP police force is not the police that they used to know. It's a new era. It's time for freedom from fear in Rio de Janeiro.
Livre de ostentação de arma, livre do uso deliberado de drogas, livre dos tiroteios, das balas perdidas, enfim, e com possibilidade de através do ir e vir, receber tudo que um cidadão tem que ter, né? Ter acesso às coisas que a gente não tinha.
Só a gente que vive isso, que sente na nossa alma a mudança e a
Você vive uma vida mais tranquila, é uma qualidade de vida.
Tá ficando do jeito que eu sempre sonhei de
acreditar, porque se mudou aqui, com certeza pode mudar em qualquer outro lugar.
Meus filhos, né, que se formem, converso muito com eles. Que a oportunidade que eles têm agora, eu não tive antes.
Felicidade, muita felicidade. Você olha cada sorriso de cada um deles, você vê um sorriso que foi roubado, que hoje ele está dentro de cada um deles.
I strongly believe that the more proactive the police ombudsman office can be, the better police force we're going to have. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you an example of how the police ombudsman can also work on behalf of the police force. I just want to give an introduction that maybe some of you knows, I mean, the lack of formal and socioeconomic controls in an unpacified favelas make it easy to spread of violence. There is a tendency for violence to emerge as a dominant mechanism of conflict resolution. As you might agree with me, the cause of violence, drugs, and criminality contribute to a risk of individuals using drugs experience violence. To be able to change this cultural behavior, it's necessary persistence and patience. As I understand, freedom from fear starts with the reduction of armament. Of course, that we can lay down in legal frameworks in cases of confrontations, such as in 1994 Convention, but also international police law, international human rights law, or even the Brazilian law. However, in case of peacemaking troops, the outbreak of armed conflicts will essentially depend on the attitude of other armed parties involved. And that means, in the favela, expect the unexpected. This is the reason that I strongly believe that the UPP force has to be ready to go either way.
In October 2012, in visiting one specific UPP, I had the opportunity to talk with the captain and his sub regarding non-lethal weapon. And surprisingly, I've came to know that the UPP wasn't prepared for this kind of weapons. After I sent the Ombudsman protocol stating my findings, a research has been made to verify the information. And not only that specific UPP was short on non-lethal weapons, but some others as well. My initial request reported the need of 36 non-lethal weapons, and at the end of the Ombudsman process in November 2012, it was bid more than 2,500 non-lethal weapons and more than 8,100 refills. Training for better use of non-lethal weapons was requested as well.
This example was a practical use of a police ombudsman office on behalf of the police force. There have been also allegations of excessive use of force by some of the UPP policemen and corruption allegation among other complaints. And I hope that more social participation will come to our police ombudsman office to give us the opportunity to separate the wheat from the chaff. And the participation has to start from the bottom of everything, the society, the community. I believe that the increased number of complaints over the police force doesn't mean that the cooperation is worse, but yet there has been a greater social participation over it. That's because the social control is a constitutional right and responsibility of everyone. To wrap up my presentation, I would like to give you my email contact, luciananunezop@gmail.com, and let you free to send thoughts and feelings regarding my presentation. It's for me very important to just send my message clear, so I'll be more than glad to answer every single questions you might have. I'm not going to participate in the panel discussion. I wish I could be there. I'm here in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, but that's it. I'd like to invite you all to the World Cup 2014 and the Olympic Games Rio 2016. We are ready to receive you all. See you then. I'm going to say goodbye and let you with the Youth Symphony Orchestra from the UPP communities. Bye-bye. Thank you.